Hey Oliver, I've got your quiz here. I wanted to go ahead and make a video for you since I see that you didn't pass that the second time. And maybe I can clear up some confusion that you're having. So when we look at your quiz, this first question here is talking about two different families, the Hernandez family and the Wilson family. And they're both ordering pizzas. We talk about how many slices each of their pizza is going to have. The Hernandez family orders 3 pizzas. They cut the pizzas so that each pizza has the same number of slices, giving them a total of 24 slices. So that's 8 slices per pizza. The Wilson family also orders several large pizzas from the same restaurant. They cut the pieces so that all their pizzas have the same number of slices. For their family, the equation y equals 10x represents the relationship where x again represents the number of pizzas, y represents the number of total slices. And then it's asking you which statements best describe the pizzas bought by the Hernandez and Wilson families. Select 2 options. So first, when I look at this, I see you only picked one answer. You picked the one that's in red here, the X, which means it was incorrect. The gray X's you did not select and should not have selected. And the gray check marks were the correct 2 answers. You should have selected them. So a couple of things. First of all, this unit is all about proportional relationships. When we graph a proportional relationship, all those graphs start at 0, 0, and they move in this direction. They are going to be straight lines like this. So when the Wilson family orders 3 pizzas, we do pizzas, and then we do slices. They order 3 pizzas, they get 24 slices. We're not told anything about the Wilson family other than their equation, y equals 10x. So the first gray check mark says, for each family, a graph of the relationship between the number of pizzas x and the number of slices y. Okay, it tells us that right here. X is pizza, y is slices. It's going to go through 0, 0, and it's going to be a straight line. That's always true of proportional relationships. They all pass through 0, 0, and they are all straight lines. And then the last one says, if the Wilson family ordered 3 large pizzas from the same restaurant as the Hernandez family, they would have more slices than the Hernandez family after each. Then that's true. So what's happening here is if you take 24 over 8, we find that, 24 over 3, you find that constant of proportionality. The Hernandez family's equation would be y equals 8x. They're getting 8 slices per pizza. And now if we compare that to the Wilson family, they are getting 10 slices per pizza. We don't know how many pizzas they ordered. We don't know how many slices they're going to end up with because of that. But we can tell that if they both got the same number of pizzas from the same place, that the Wilson family is going to have more slices because they are cutting 10 slices in each pizza versus the Hernandez family that's cutting 8. Doesn't mean they have more pizza. They still both have 3 larges, but they have more slices. Their slices would be smaller. Okay. Let's look at the incorrect ones. This first one says for the Hernandez family, the equation y equals 3x. Wait, can I undo that? Yeah. The Hernandez family, the equation y equals 3x represents the relationship between the number of slices of pizza. X represents the number of pizzas. No, 3x is not correct. We already wrote it. It's 8x. It's how many slices they're getting per pizza, and it's done by doing 24 over 3, or the y over the x. Remember, pizza here is x and slices is y. The Hernandez family slices are smaller. Nope, we said the exact opposite. The Wilson's family pizzas are going to be smaller because they cut more slices of pizza into each pizza. I'm saying pizza a lot. Last one, the constant of proportionality for the Wilson family is 10. That is true, but cannot be determined for the Hernandez family. That is not true because we did determine it, and it's 8. Question 2, which equation represents the relation that is shown in the figure? So when we are looking at proportional relationships, it's always y equals kx, where k is the constant of proportionality. It is found by dividing the y over the x in any one of the ordered pairs. Remember, in an ordered pair, the first number is x and the second number is y. So you have those flipped here. You chose 2/7, which is x over y, and that's incorrect. It should be 7/2. 7 over 2. It's y over x. Question 4, the fine schedule for overdue books at the library is modeled by the values in the table. Which equation best models? So again, it's going to be y equals kx. We find k by dividing y over x in a table. X is always the first column, y is the second column. So you can do it in any order here. You can take any one of these. You can do 5 over 2. You can do 10 over 4, 15 over 6, 20 over 8, or 25 over 10. Every one of those is going to reduce, I'm just going to do the smaller one, to 5/2. Okay, so it's this one here. And then it tells you in the table, y is the cost in cents. Yep, the amount of the fine, there's the cost in cents. And x is the days overdue, So they tell you that right there in the table. So it looks like you had that part correct, but just didn't calculate the constant of proportionality. Again, it's a division problem. It's taking the y value divided by the x value. Harry's soccer team plays 2 non-conference games for every 3 games that they play against a conference opponent. If y represents the number of non-conference games and x represents the number of conference games, so it was 2 non-conference and 3, which equation best models? So we again are doing y equals kx. K is found by doing y divided by x. In a table, x is first, y is second. So I'm taking 2 over 3, 2/3. That does not reduce. Y equals 2/3 x. This is your constant of proportionality, and we would sub that right back in there for k. Which equation represents a proportional relationship that has a constant of proportionality equal to 0.7? So what you have to do in these equations is solve them for y. You have to get y by itself. Okay, I do that here by multiplying by x, y equals 7/10 x. The one you selected, if I multiply both sides by x, I would get y equals 1/7 x. 1/7 is not 0.7. Right? In a calculator, if you do 1 divided by 7, you get like 0.1428, something like that. If you do 7 divided by 10, that's 0.7. Question 10, Rita's developing an equation that will represent the same proportional relationship as the graph. How will the ordered pair help her? The quotient of the coordinates will be a coefficient, not a constant. A constant is a term that doesn't have a variable, and in proportional relationships, y equals kx, the coefficient, that's the number that's multiplied by x. So if I write something like 4x plus 7, I know this is not related, but this is a coefficient because it's attached to the x. This is a constant because it's by itself. So recognizing that that constant of proportionality, that k term, is a coefficient. Okay, I know that was a little quick. I'm on my prep period right now. I'm going to go ahead and send this to you. Please make sure that you've watched it. Try to understand some of the things I'm saying. Maybe even go back and watch the instruction video again. Taking notes is a really good idea in a math class to make sure that you're taking notes so that you understand or can go back and reference those notes later. Math notes are a really great tool to use. If you have any other questions, please let me know.